Hello, my name is Christy Beth Kelly, and I'm the Associate Dean of the English Language Institute at Fanshawe College in London, Ontario, Canada. I want to talk to you about something that's very important to Canadians and something that you'll see all throughout Canada if you come to Canada, and that is Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is a Canadian icon. And what an icon is something that's very important to people, something that's a symbol or stands out or people recognize it wherever they are. And the Tim Hortons brand is an icon for Canadians. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this very popular, very important piece of Canadian culture. So what is Tim Hortons? Tim Hortons is a coffee and donut chain of fast food restaurants, and it's all found in almost every corner, it seems, of big cities or small towns throughout Canada, from coast to coast. It is also now found in other countries as well. It's found in the United States and different Asian countries, and I'm not sure, possibly even Central or South America as well. When did Tim Hortons start? Well, the very first franchise, or the very first business, opened in April 1964, so quite a few years ago now, in a small city near Toronto called Hamilton, Ontario. And Hamilton is about an hour and a half drive from London, Ontario. The reason it's called Tim Hortons is Tim is the name of the man, or Tim Hortons is the name of the man who started this business, along with another businessman from Montreal. And Tim Horton was a Toronto Maple Leafs hockey player. So Tim Hortons, the man himself, was a hockey player. So why is Tim Hortons a Canadian icon? Well, Canadians love hockey and they love coffee. For a big part of the year, we have cool or cold weather in a lot of parts of Canada. And as the result of having cold weather, we often drink a lot of coffee, nice hot coffee to keep us warm. So by combining this love of hockey with this love of coffee, Tim Hortons has done really well as a franchise or as a chain of fast food restaurants in Canada. And Tim Hortons itself is marketed as part of Canadian culture. Canadians really identify with this restaurant or this brand of coffee and donuts and treats. And Canadians can identify with the man himself, Tim Horton, who was a rising star in the hockey world. And I'll go on to the next page to show you a little bit more. So what does Tim Hortons mean to Canadians? Well, Tim Hortons, as I mentioned, is part of our culture. It's part of our identity. It's part of our history. Canada is a relatively new country compared to a lot of countries around the world. And we don't have a lot of things that are uniquely Canadian that we all seem to identify with. But Tim Hortons, the brand of coffee and donuts, is something that it seems Canadians, no matter where they live, whether they're from a small town in Canada, in the north of Canada, or in a big city in the south of Canada, Canadians seem to really appreciate and enjoy this brand of coffee and donuts and treats. And so it's kind of part of our culture and history and identity. You may see long lineups outside of restaurants, Tim Horton restaurants. This is a very popular sight to see in downtown Toronto. I believe this is where this picture is taken, or it could be any big Canadian city. And then this is often what you'll see at Fanshawe, a big lineup of students waiting for their morning coffee or afternoon coffee or evening coffee and treats. So this is very popular among students, Fanshawe students all throughout colleges and universities in Canada. So if you ever get a chance to try a cup of Tim Hortons coffee, I hope you'll take that chance. So enjoy.